So I said, okay, let's give the product a try. And I thought it was just something maybe we would add to our repertoire, and it would be something that we would just try as a product because we use a lot of different products from a lot of different companies. And then when we had a product experience, which I'll talk about here in a second, as soon as I felt something that I had never felt before, I said, you know what, let me talk to the CEO. I want to see if this is a company that we could potentially partner with, because there's a lot of products out there, a lot of amazing products, a lot of great companies. But I look for very specific things if I'm going to partner with a company and kind of put my name on it and all those different things. And when I was introduced to Shane and Laura Brady, it was a very unique combination of someone who is very experienced. He's been in the wellness industry for 21 plus years at the executive level of multi-billion-dollar international brands. And so the reason that he launched and founded VitaFi in 2016 was he was tired of a lot of things that are out in the wellness space that say, try this product, this blend is amazing, it'll do this, it'll do that. But nothing was really proven. It was just hearsay or how somebody felt on the product or whatever it was. And he really wanted to find something that had some real, meat to it, as they say, meat to the bone. Even though I'm plant-based, I can still say that. But it's one of those things where he wanted to find something that a company where he could build a legacy for his family and also a legacy for everyone that wanted to be involved in this endeavor. And so in 2016, he launched a company in Mexico, of all places. I launched it. He lived there for 12 years. Him and his wife is from Argentina. He's from Utah. They moved back up to Utah about 2 years ago, but they launched the company in Mexico because that's where they were living. And it made sense because that's where he was. And so he launched that company, and he launched it around three very specific things. He wanted to have a company, again, was the legacy mindset, but he wanted a company that combined three things: traditional medicine, so things that have been used for hundreds, if not thousands of years, not some new proprietary formula or fad that came out that could be gone in a few years, but something that actually has worked in the real world for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Then he wanted to take natural ingredients with that traditional medicine and then prove it in a lab setting that it would work. And so that's what he sought out to go do. And then he found the product that we're going to talk about today that combines all three of those topics or ideas into one place, which is what VitaFi is. So this is not just another company where you're going to find an energy product and a protein product and a this product and a that product. There's a lot of great products out there. We use a lot of them from all different types of companies. But one of the things that we know, and this was one of the things that Angel shared with me, is that no matter how healthy you are, you will always have inflammation. No matter if you are a marathon runner, no matter if you're an Ironman, no matter if you're a single mom, no matter if you're a guy that barely works out. And I used to love working out, but I got to get back in the gym. One of the things that I was always experiencing was inflammation. So from the age of, I would say 22-ish, somewhere in there, I played high school football, and my knees, I wish I had a water bottle with me, but my knees have sounded like a crunching water bottle really since the age of 22. And I never knew why. I just thought that's just how it was. And what it came down to was my knees had severe inflammation in them, because about a week or two after using the product we're going to talk about tonight, that has vanished. And my knees haven't crunched since then. I can do squats, I can do things. And so I had that product experience very quickly. And I was like, well, I didn't change anything. Why did the crunching stop? Why did the pain stop? Why? It's because the inflammation was reduced, not that this is a pain reliever, because pain relievers are drugs. They're things that are used to mask a pain, where inflammation by itself is not necessarily a bad thing. It's your body's natural response. But because of the world we live in and the food we eat and the air we breathe and all those different things, inflammation is always coming at us. And if we don't control it, it turns into all the things that you see on the screen. Inflammation leads to arthritis, autoimmune diseases, diabetes, renal disease, Alzheimer's, pulmonary, neuropathy. All these things that you see on the screen are usually a result of inflammation gone wrong in some way, shape, or form. Even if you talk about cancer and you talk about things like that, those are a result of inflammation gone wrong. And so if you create a way that inflammation has helped to be in a healthy way, then you can allow your body to actually heal over time. And that's what we're really talking about tonight. It's not, the newest craze on the market. It really comes down to something like we talked about before, traditional medicine that's been around for 4,000, almost 5,000 years. If you go to India and you have an ache or a pain, they don't say take Advil or ibuprofen or a pain reliever. They go, here, have some turmeric. They grind some turmeric up, they put some additives in it, and you drink some tea. And that's how they get through all those different things. It's been in Ayurvedic medicine. If you're not familiar with that, it's just a very traditional form of medicine that uses plants as the first medicinal system in the world. And then, people that want to make a lot of money off that turned it into drugs. But the root of that is plants, because I'm a big believer that everything natural in the world was designed here to help you in some way, shape, or form. And then, as humans, we tend to corrupt a lot of things that we touch. But plants at their core were designed to help us. And that's where turmeric comes from. So it's been put here to help us in a way, shape, or form, but it's hard to absorb into the body, which we'll talk about here in a second, because all of the studies, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, and I don't recommend you do this, but if you want to go down the rabbit hole of turmeric or curcumin, just go YouTube curcumin or turmeric, and you'll see thousands of videos all throughout, since YouTube has been alive or around, that's kind of funny, since it's been around, is because everyone says turmeric is great. Curcumin, you should take it. Here's what it's been proven to do in lab settings over and over and over again. But at the end of all of the studies, which you can go on PubMed.gov and look at thousands of studies on there, they all say it's good for cardiovascular disease, metabolic, neoplastic diseases, autoimmune disease. It's great for all of these things, and curcumin and turmeric can help with that. The problem is it doesn't absorb into the body. So when a company says, okay, here's a great product, but it doesn't absorb, what most companies do is they put their marketing hat on. They go, okay, what are things and ways that we could improve absorption? Like black pepper, which is Pepperdine, is in a lot of products that are out there on the market. Or you could use liposomal technology, which is used in cancer research, which surrounds the cell and allows it to be delivered into the body in a more effective manner. You could use a lot of different things to make it look like it becomes more bioavailable. But a lot of those technologies, not all of them, but a lot of those technologies are still not proven to go, if you take this, it will absorb into the body. And if you're taking anything with turmeric or curcumin, whether it's an oil, a powder, a pill, whatever it is, it's been proven that only 90% or less goes through the body. Only about 10% is actually absorbed in any way, shape, or form. And so the question is, okay, if curcumin and turmeric are so great for me, how do I get it in my body? And that's where this BioMS patented nanotechnology comes into play. So again, there's a lot of different things out there. Liposomal is one of probably the most prevalent technologies out there that a lot of companies use. And that's creating a shell around a molecule to potentially deliver into the body. The problem with that is it's not small enough to actually get into the cells. And that's where nanotechnology comes into play, because nanotechnology is taking something, think Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's the easiest way to explain it, is that you're taking a child and you're making a tiny child. You're taking a molecule of curcumin, the extract from turmeric, and you're making a tiny curcumin molecule. And then you're wrapping that around this micelle shell that delivers it into your blood. And because it's so small, when the micelle shell breaks out, it actually gets absorbed into your blood like that. And that's the key phrase here, is you don't want it to have to go into your intestine and then get absorbed into your body, because most of it won't get anywhere. You want it to get into your body as fast as possible. And BioMS is a patented nanotechnology. It's got 3 international patents. So if somebody goes, oh, it's like this. No. Oh, it's like that. No, not really. If it's not BioMS technology and has these 3 patents on it, it's not proven to do this. And just to give you a visualization of this, think of like one hair follicle is 50,000 nanometers. One of these particles is 30 nanometers. So I think of it like kind of like a really tiny, I forget the name of that movie, where you have this really tiny submarine that goes in and delivers curcumin into your body, and then the submarine gets excreted through your body. You don't actually absorb the micelle shell, you just absorb what's inside of that. And that's what BioMS is. So this is not about a company going, hey, we found the most amazing curcumin sourced on the planet. Come take our curcumin. This is about going, it doesn't matter how high quality your curcumin is. Well, ours is the highest quality. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't absorb into the body. It doesn't matter how high quality it is or where it's sourced from or all those different things. It matters, does it absorb into the body? And here's just an example side by side of turmeric being absorbed into water versus solubilized curcumin. It's kind of a raw visualization, but that gives you the sight of what does it mean when we talk absorption? Little to no absorption, almost all absorption on the right-hand side. And it's backed by clinical trials. There was a clinical trial done on men and women. And basically the clinical trial took them and said, okay, you're going to take turmeric and you're going to take this curcumin that is in a liquid form. And they didn't tell them what it was. And all they did was draw blood and take urine samples. And so basically what they saw is that the people that took the native turmeric, which is the native men and native women, the native turmeric was absorbed in the body within about an hour or so, hour to 2 hours. And then it was out of the body, that last little dot there, it was out of the body within 8 hours. That's just native turmeric. And that's why people have to take a lot of turmeric pills, and sometimes 30, 40 turmeric pills to actually feel anything because it's not being absorbed into the body. Versus this curcumin, which we're talking about tonight, is the BioMS curcumin. It absorbs immediately into the body within about 40 minutes or so, and then it stays in the body for up to 24 hours. And you go, well, how do you prove that? Well, you can tell by taking the blood out of the body and saying, okay, well, this is how much curcumin is in that blood sample. And so it's a really great thing to have that idea of understanding the technology here is what we're talking about tonight. I'm not here to tell you how great turmeric and curcumin is. That's already proven. That's not what I'm here to. It's just really to show you and share with you a technology that most people have never heard of, because again, this company has the sole patent on this, and they've had it basically in Mexico for 5 years, and it didn't really start coming into the States until about a year ago. And now it's growing very quickly. So what's it look like in a chart? If I took native turmeric versus Nano-Fi, which is one of our curcumin products, it's up to about a 277 times absorption rate. Now, you might see things out there in the marketing world, because I come from a marketing background. You might see things in the marketing world that will say 2,000 times better or 100 times more bioavailable. But it doesn't matter if you don't prove it in a lab, because you can say whatever you want, but if you don't have the clinical trials to back it, then I can go, well, I can say that if you take this with any type of, if you take it with salt, I can say that it does that. This is a way that you can say, okay, if I take this curcumin, it's proven to absorb into my body, and if it's proven to absorb into my body, here's what curcumin can do. And that's what absorption is really all about. What it can do, and this is so varied for people, because again, we've been using the product personally for about 10 months. We've seen people with cognitive function, whether it's young or old, a lot of people that have cognitive conditions, because I can't say the other word, but cognitive conditions at an older age that start taking this product have massive lifestyle changes. Because again, once you get to a certain age, you get to the point where it's like, well, there's nothing more that we can do. I beg to differ. There's a lot more you can do if you find a natural alternative versus just overly medicating somebody to try and mask a problem. So this curcumin is a potent antioxidant. It makes it so you have a healthy inflammatory response. Because again, remember, inflammation is not the evil thing here. It's the unhealthy version of inflammation that can grow into something bad. Intestinal function, so gut health is a huge thing. Curcumin is just a known antibacterial, an anti-inflammatory, and that's what curcumin does. That's not what I'm saying that curcumin will do for you. I'm just saying that's what curcumin has been proven to do for lots of people. And so no matter what it can do for you, you can go into our group. Now, this is an old picture because now there's 16,200 people in the group, not 14,000. In this group, you can see lots of people's stories all the time. And you can see people's stories of, pain relief, or you can see stories of migraine relief. I saw somebody that had bumps on her skin and she put drops on her skin and the bumps went away. Because again, this is about reducing inflammation. Externally and internally in a way. We do it all internally. There's lots of ways we'll talk about how to use this product. But for us, it's really been, I really think it's a godsend for us because yes, my knees felt better. That's great. I mean, that my knees felt better. I could squat, lunge, all those type of things. What it's done for Angel is something that we never expected, is that if after about a month or so ish of taking it, she knew, and the reason that she was taking the product was for the long-term effects, the ability to stay off disease, the ability that curcumin has just on a long-term preventative measure. She wasn't really taking it expecting much because she had taken curcumin products in the past and never really experienced anything with those. And about a month after taking this, the neuropathy in her legs vanished. And that's amazing because she had that for 20 years after she was paralyzed from the waist down after being diagnosed with transverse myelitis. And she was able to walk again, which is amazing, but she was left with residual effects over the last 20 years that would cause her pins and needles in her legs. It would be hard to wake up in the morning. And that really was removed and hasn't come back. And the other thing too is if there's any women on the call tonight, I see a few, that time of the month or menopause, any type around hormonal things, this product seems to really help that. Someone that during that time of the month, it's a really bad time. I don't know, one of Angel's friends buys like 7 bottles a month because she's had issues her entire life and now she doesn't. But again, this is not about me saying, oh, this is going to help this in you. I don't know what it's going to do because you don't know what your body wants to do. You don't know how it wants to heal. And so it might take longer than a month. It might take longer than 2 months. It might take 6 months. But that's what's nice about this product. And we'll talk about this because no matter if someone is 6 or 69 or 70 or 80 or 90 or 100, they can use this product. Or if they're covered in fur, they can use the product too. So it makes it where even somebody that has fur babies, we've got some people in the group. Our mascot is Moose. We've got a couple other dogs and cats in the group too. That basically all you do is you take a 1 or 2 drops and you put it on a biscuit. My past life was as a dog trainer for 7 years as a professional dog trainer, and so I'm well versed in this world. Usually, when a dog doesn't feel good, whether it's hip dysplasia, a hot spot, or whatever it is, veterinarians can only do what you can think would help because the dog can't go, this is why I hurt. It's literally the best guess. It's like, well, if you have hip dysplasia or your joints hurt, we'll give you this or we'll give you that. If you have something wrong with the skin, they put steroids on it because that's the only thing they know what to do. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that if you don't know the root of the cause, which is usually inflammation, that's why I think dogs and cats and horses too are seeing an immense relief from this. Because really what it comes down to, especially with dogs, is inflammation in their bodies. And so this can work for young, old, and anything furry in between. And so everyone can use this product and it's super easy. I am not a pill person. I'm barely a shake person. I drink shakes every once in a while. Angel is a great shake person. I'm not a good shake person. Again, taste and consistency is a huge thing for me. If it doesn't taste good, I might take it for a month or 2, but then eventually I won't. With this, I've taken this product literally every single day for 10 months. I think I may have missed a few days here and there. And I felt it, trust me. And the thing about it is that it's so easy to take. I just do half a dropper in my coffee every morning. If you're not a coffee drinker, that's okay. You could put it in tea. You could put it in hot cocoa. You could put it in water. And we always say room temp or warmer to dissolve it, because it can go up to boiling capacity and not be corrupted or anything like that. You can even cook with it if you wanted to, but you always want to do warm or hot. And it doesn't have a flavor to it. I would say, if anything, if you just did it in water or tea, it has kind of herbally. It doesn't taste like turmeric. Don't think Indian food, think herbal tea. That's kind of the flavor of it. When you put it in coffee, I don't taste it at all. If you want to put it in cold, like we do with our 6-year-old, I'll do a little kind of shot of warm water and I'll put like 2 or 3 drops in, and then I'll dump it into her OJ and just mix it up. And that's how we drink it with cold. So again, it's very easy to use and it's inexpensive. That was the thing that got me, because I said, okay, as soon as I saw the price, I'm like, this is cheap. This won't work. It's literally the first thing I said. When I saw the price, I was like, $50. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm sure it'll work. Because I'm used to paying like 60, 70, 80, 100, $150 for a month's supply of a high quality product. And so when I saw $50, I was like, okay, well, that's a good wholesale price. And he's like, no, that's retail. I was like, that's the retail price. That's like what we actually offer on the website. He's like, yeah. And we sell lots of them. And so I said, okay, well, if that's the price, what happens if I get more? He's like, well, if you get more, you save more. Oh, okay, well, that makes sense. And we recently brought this into our website where now if you get a 3-pack, you can get 10% off the regular price just for getting the 3-pack. They have a wellness ship program that if you sign up to get it shipped to you automatically every month, which there's no requirement, you don't have to ever have that. It's a pure loyalty program. You can cancel it, edit it with a click of a button. There's nothing to fax in. There's no phone number to call. You just go in and go delete or change, and it's very easy. So not that I'm suggesting that you do this, but you could go on here and get a 3-pack for $135, save 10%, get free shipping. You get $10 off. So basically you'll still pay $135 because they give you $10 off and then it's $10 for shipping. So it's still $135. And if right after you order it, you want to cancel your auto ship, you can. I wouldn't recommend that you do that because for every 3rd month that you're active on this wellness ship loyalty program, you actually get a free bottle. So that even